Hello there and welcome to the Best Good Friend Training channel. My name is Jenna. I'm your canine coach and I am joined here occasionally by my border collie, Bindi, and here to introduce not only myself, but the philosophy and the coaching that will be provided here on this channel, because I have been a trainer for over a decade. And if there's one thing that I have always noticed is that dog training, often people think that it only involves the dog, and it couldn't be farther from the truth. The other end of the leash, the human side, is just as important, honestly, if not more so, than teaching that dog to sit and stay. Because if we don't understand how to communicate with our dogs and how to understand when they're speaking to us, there will always be a shift in the relationship. And yes, that's exactly what this is. Training your dog is creating a relationship with your dog. And a relationship, just like all others, requires work. Now, once upon a time, I actually learned how to train in a board and train facility. And while it was a fabulous way for me to understand and learn how to be hands-on with dogs and truly learn to handle them and communicate, my biggest fault was that a lot of these owners were only getting 2 hours of lessons to learn 4 weeks of a ton of work put into their dogs. And it was often very much a, here's the keys to the Ferrari, figure it out, we'll catch you later. And so of course I saw a lot of backslide. And when I relocated and I started to learn how to become more of a private trainer, I realized that when people understood where, when, why, and how to use obedience in their training in every day, that the relationships with their dogs were so much stronger, their dogs were so much happier, and the pack as a whole was far more harmonious. And that is when my mentor called us a canine coach. And I loved that because it did. It felt like the work that I was doing and continue to do feels much more than just training a dog. It was truly being that mentor for the relationship and coaching the owner to be the best leader for their dog and understand their dogs truly, because that's exactly it. The missing piece to training truly sticking is when an owner actually understands how to use it and how to use it in a way that makes sense for their dog. Because every dog is different. Every dog has a different learning style. Every human has a different learning style. And it's truly up to that coach to be able to communicate effectively both agendas. Because here's the thing, is that there is a difference between a trained dog and a well-behaved one. And a trained dog is simply a dog that can perform commands, but they might not make good decisions when they're overstimulated, overexcited, anxious, or anything of the like. But a well-behaved dog is a dog that knows how to make good decisions because boundaries and structure and guidance were provided, and it was clear. The communication of what was expected was crystal clear. So the dog felt confident and secure in the leadership that they could make good decisions on their own. Because that's truly what owners want. They don't need a dog that can just rattle off commands for a treat in hand. They want a dog that they can take places, that they can have completely immersed in their life, and they never have to feel like the I'm sorry dog parent, because there's nothing more embarrassing than feeling like you have to constantly apologize for your dog's behavior when it can be as simple as taking control, altering your expectations, and knowing when to remove a little bit of the noise. I want to make it really simple for you, and we'll go into more depth in the next video. But owners really only need 3 things. They need the dog to come to me, they need the dog to go away from me, and they need the dog to go with. Now, is it oversimplifying? Of course. But are those going to be the three big catch-all commands that you will be using in your every single day? Yeah, absolutely. Because like I said, if you can help your dog learn to make good decisions on their own, you don't feel like you're micromanaging them for the rest of their life or feeling like you have to constantly shut them away, because the relationship has been established and those expectations are there without feeling like you need to yell them over and over. That's what this channel is going to be about. It's going to be real life, real dogs, and real owners. Because once we understand how to make it fit, then it becomes a natural conversation we get to have every single day with our dogs and make it feel seamless, happy, harmonious, and we have a balanced dog and a balanced nervous system of our own. So if all that sounds good to you and it feels like this might be a little different, then follow along, because there's a lot more where that came from. I'm Jenna, and this is Bindi, and we'll catch you on the next one.